Hey guys, so I need to get this video done because it's one of them days. But anyways, I am going to be doing my quad rankings. I have 35 quads, and of course, like the other rankings, price meant nothing. I'm just going off of color story and how often I use these in my off time when I'm not filming. So my 35th quad, the least one, is the LA Colors Nude Glow in Birthday Suit, and I actually like this quad. I think I actually like all of these quads. I just haven't actually used this one yet, so I couldn't rank it because I don't know the quality. But swatching it now feels really nice. Actually, I'm excited to use this. So the rankings will eventually change as I declutter and I bring more into my collection. I'm doing a Pat McGrath order in a couple days at the time I'm filming this because she's on sale and I can't resist. Okay, number 4 is in the same category. It's the LA Colors Bare Beauty one. I've swatched this once and it kind of reminded me a lot of like Pillow Talk from Charlotte's Tilbury, just not packaging wise. Like, it's also extremely powdery. The shimmers feel, and the mattes even, the shimmers feel really nice, so I can't wait to use these. Okay, number 33, we're getting into the quads that I have used and I have opinions of, and it's the e.l.f. Mint Melt Eyeshadow Trio in Mint to Be. I just don't reach for these green tones that often. This is a really, really nice quad. I think that the bite-sized shadows are very, very nice, especially for the price. You get really good quality. I just don't reach for these tones that often unless I'm doing a specific look. I mean, look at that green. Okay, number 32 is the e.l.f. and Dunkin' Donuts Chocolate Frosted with Sprinkles palette. So this one's just not what I expected. This blue was very, very lackluster for me, which is why it's ranking so much lower. And the shades themselves feel extremely stiff, to be completely honest. I mean, like, you can see that blue is just like not what I wanted it to be. Palette would absolutely rank higher if that blue was more punchy. Number 31 is the Wet n Wild Star Luxe Quad in Jupiter Recognizes. I hate the name of this. Yeah, it's okay. This just has like 2 mattes and 2 glitters, and this is honestly like, it's hard to use in my opinion due to the glitters. The glitters are not that good. That's the spatula we used to make his egg in the morning. Which you can see, the glitters are just not that good. I can see myself decluttering this in my next declutter. Number 30 is the e.l.f. Mint Melt eyeshadow in Chocolate Mint. Again, I like this palette. I just don't reach for it because of this green that much, because I tend, when I reach into a quad, to want to use all the colors, and this green is just kind of like out there in terms of color story. Okay, number 29 is the e.l.f. and Dunkin' Donuts Boston Cream palette. This ranks a little bit higher because it is more neutral, but again, I just don't reach for this because the color story itself just isn't really there for me. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to do a whole look, and I just don't see a whole look with this. Number 28 is a quad you cannot get anymore, and is the Color Icon quad from Wet n Wild in Petalette. I do not like the 5-pan of this. I think that they did something to the formula of this, but this is honestly one I can see myself getting rid of. It's just not special. Number 27 is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade Silent Treatment. They don't make this color story anymore. It was one of my favorite color stories for a very, very long time when I was really into these types of tones, but it's not anymore because I'm just into other colors, like other color stories. The one thing I want to state about the Wet n Wild Color Icons was that they were definitely very powdery. Number 27 is the ColourPop and Emerald Away. So this is from the Jewel collection. I do not really like these color stories for the jewel tones, and I hate the 9 pans that come in this same packaging. These themselves I think are fine, the 4 pans, but the formula for the 9 pans are different. I just don't really reach for the greens like this. It's very, very jewel tone and deep. Number 26 is the ColourPop Set on Sapphire one. I honestly don't know why I got these. I think it's because it was the base on the jewels. things because I don't like deep jewel tones like this typically. I don't really go for jewel tones this deep. I don't really use these, which is why I don't use these quads that often.
Whoa, what was that?
I mean, it's just really deep. 25 is the ColourPop Nook Ink quad. Again, beautiful, beautiful. I just don't go for color stories like this. And honestly, I could see myself decluttering this in my next declutter just because I don't reach for these colors. But they're still really good quality. Number 24 is the ColourPop Taurus quad. And Brandon is a Taurus, so it's an earth sign, and I want to get all of these from ColourPop because I am a zodiac freak. I love zodiac signs. I didn't think I would reach into this very much, but I can honestly see myself reaching into it more. Number 23 is the Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity Luxe Quad and Interstellar Icon. I just recently got this, and I'm trying to get the other ones. Pat McGrath is on sale right now when I'm filming this, so that blue is what I wanted in the e.l.f. quad, and you will see the difference. So this is not a quad I can really use by itself because it's all shimmer, but it's still really pretty, and it's a nice kind of like grab for extra shade, like quad. Other quads that I reach for that are more affordable over that one. So the next one is going to be the Hard Candy Monochromatic Shadows in Moods, I believe? Moods. This is just a neutral one. I think that they're trying to be like the e.l.f. bite-sized quads, but I don't think that it's the same formulation. e.l.f.'s neutrals are definitely better than that, so that's why it's ranking so low. Yeah, I do. Next is the e.l.f. and Dunkin' Donuts Strawberry Frosted with Sprinkles. So this is the one I was the most interested in when they released this collection. I didn't realize how light it was because I was really into these pink tones. This is very, very light, and it still has that very stiff feeling, which makes me wonder about these. Next is ColourPop's Gata Agate? I don't know. It's the purple tone one. I'm really interested in these purples right now. And I don't know why, but I really am. Your bottle's down there, babe. Kai, you know how to turn it on, honey. There you go. You're welcome. But yeah, it's just a purple palette. Next is the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose Color Icon Quad and House of Thorns. So this is just really, really dark. This is never ever leaving my collection no matter what happens. They don't sell this quad in this collection anymore, and it was the last collection that my grandpa got for me before he passed away. So it's never leaving my collection. It's always going to have a special place in my heart. Next is the Rebel Rose one in Bed of Roses. This is just a little bit lighter. It's kind of like a medium type one. It just has this really, really pretty pink shimmer right there that I love. This is just a nice color story. Next is the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose Color Icon and Secret Garden Rendezvous. This is just like the lighter one. It's one I tend to reach into just because of the first two colors. And you'll see in the swatch, these two colors are what I tend to end up reaching into whenever I reach for this quad in my personal time. But then you have those other two shades as well. Next is the e.l.f. Bite Size Shadow in I Love You Latte. Yes, we have! This is all matte. I just hate the fact that these two need to be switched, like, so bad. But this is a nice all matte. You can just tell that this is a different formulation than the Dunkin' Donuts one. Like, you can just tell when you swatch them it's a different formula. Next is the Wet n Wild Bloomin' quad. I really like this, honestly, more so than what I thought I would. I got this kind of thinking I wouldn't like it, but I actually do. The glitter I thought I would like more than I do. I actually prefer it without the glitter, which you can see. I prefer it without the glitter, but it's still a nice quad. Next is the ColourPop and Bold in the Aries quad. So I'm an Aries, which is why this ranks so much higher, because I am an Aries, and I don't know. I'm an Aries and I'm biased, I guess. But I do love this color story for when you want warm tones. This would be very, very nice. Okay, next is ColourPop's Really Ruby one. So this one's also kind of like maroony jewel tone reds, which is something I'm really getting more into is the warm tone reds. And it's not something I thought I would get into, but I am starting to get into that. I'm starting to leave my cool tones for tones like this. We are allowed to change our makeup preference. So next is the e.l.f. Bite Size Shadow in Rosewater. This was the only one at first that I really liked from e.l.f. the color story wise because it was more pinky. And I'm glad I have this. I really, really am. This is a color story I see myself reaching into multiple times. Next is the Pat McGrath Ritualistic Rose Quad. So this is more my color story. It is all shimmer though, which is why it's all shimmer, which is why it's ranking where it is in the middle, but it's still really pretty. Cannot wait for Thursday so I can buy Pat McGrath. Next is ColourPop's Citrine You and Me. It's more of a neutral orange tone one, which I like, which is why it ranks higher than where I had it the other ones, because this is just more of a better color story. I have to lay Kai down for a nap after this, but next is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Quad that they don't make no more. They don't make this color story anymore, and it is sweet as candy. I wish that they did, because this was so nice. It was the cool tone option for walking on eggshell. Next is ColourPop's Going Coconut Tea, I believe is what it was called. No, Kai, don't do that. This is Going Coconutty. This is such a nice color story for like your everyday neutral. Like, so pretty. Okay, next is ColourPop's All That Topaz. Again, this is just more of a jewel toned neutral kind of color story, which is why I liked it so much, and I ranked it higher. It's just really, really pretty, and it's definitely got the more golden neutrals on its side. Next is Wet n Wild's Color Icon in Walking on Eggshells, I'm sorry. This is nostalgic. They don't make this formula anymore. They do still make Walking on Eggshells. It's just not the same. And this is just, it's so pretty. Okay, next is ColourPop's What a Hoot. Again, great color story, great formulation. This is honestly one of my favorites. I probably will never declutter this because of how much I like the color story and the formula. At the final three. So number 3 is the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette in Walk of No Shame. I have not used these yet, but at least on myself I haven't used these. But I like the color story. Number 2 is the best Pat McGrath quad I think I own, and it is the Eternal Eden one. I like this because it has 2 shimmers and 2 mattes, and I feel like I can create a full look with this, which I love in my quads, and it's Pat McGrath's amazing formula. And my number 1 quad is my Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette in Pillow Talk. Of course, I love Pillow Talk. I am planning to pick up Pillow Talk Dreams next month. It's just so pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all the social media great stuff. I'm going to end here, and I'll see you guys in the next video because I have kids to take care of. Alright, bye guys.